Hello everybody. I'm here today with my caged Hitch carrier by Arkens. I'm not a professional YouTuber and I'm not a sponsor. Everything you see I have put together myself and purchased off of Amazon. This caged cargo carrier did not come with the lights or the wiring. I put all that on. But I want to inform you that there are multiple different types that all look exactly the same. You will find reviews on YouTube showing some of the cargo carriers. You will show demonstrations. It will show people what they put them through by dragging them on the ground, because they don't have the 2-inch rise as you see here. You may look at them and they all look exactly the same. They're not. If you read the 1-star reviews, you will see where some of these are breaking and swaying and bending and problems that they're having with them. Basically, when it comes to cargo carriers themselves, the number one problem is paint. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, buy a truck liner paint and paint it before you do anything. Buy the truck bed liner paint, paint everything individually before you ever put it together. Second, you need to buy nylon threaded bolts, not bolts, I should say nuts, to help prevent things from loosening up. You will find other YouTubers that say that everything's loosening up. They have to keep retightening it. So, first, I should say, when you first buy the cargo carrier itself, you need to buy thread lock that you need to put on. That's a liquid that you put on the threads as you're putting the bolts on. You need to buy nylon threaded bolts, which will also help reduce loosening. And you should, if you're planning to put any type of real load in your cargo carrier, be sure to purchase lights. There's a nice set on Amazon that come with the brackets, with the lights, and with the wiring. Just be sure to buy some extra nylon zip ties. You're going to use a whole bunch of them, so the more you buy, the better, because the neater your wiring is, the less problems you will have if something were to fly up from underneath your car and hit things. When it comes to YouTube, read as many views as you can. Enjoy the videos that people have put out explaining everything. I saw one where someone dragged it all over the place. On Amazon, read the 1, 2, and 3-star reviews to begin with. Usually never go above that, because the 1, 2, and 3-star reviews will show everything. It will show you the damage, it will show the weaknesses, and it will show issues such as poor instructions. And I will tell you, the instructions are simply pictures. There is really no writing. They're all pictures. On this product right here from Arkens, I want to show you this box. This box is 60 by 24. This cage cargo carrier is 60 by 24. It is one piece. It is not a 2-piece or a 3-piece. It is not a Harbor Freight come in a little skinny box and made of 1/4 inch steel. All this metal is 3/4 inch. All these bolts are very, very thick. This is, I believe, a 24 millimeter bolt right here, and these are 17. And this is probably the equivalent to another 24 millimeter, but it's a pin. This right here, and this right here, and this right here are your main differences that you're going to find. When it comes to cargo carriers, if you don't have to have a folding unit, don't buy it. Buy a straight tube design or one that gives you a 2-inch lift between the front and the back to give you extra clearance on the back end of your car. Because this right here, this unit here is 70 to 76 pounds of weight. As you can see right here, 70 to 76 pounds. This is a heavy cargo carrier. This is capable of 500 pounds of load. This is a very nice heavy-duty unit that costs a tiny bit over $200. That's a lot of steel for the money. There's a lot of effort put in to put together. I'd also like to show you the differences in the folding mechanism that you're going to have to deal with. So right here I'm going to show you one. This is what I have. This is the pivot point. This is an extra, I say, sacrifice bolt, because this piece comes through and basically comes up to this bolt. This is the pin that removes, very simply, and the whole thing turns upward, and the pin will go through on the bottom side from this hole. This next device here, you will see, look at the big piece of steel right here. No, sorry, this is just a little piece of steel right here. This is the weakest point. Look at how small that center pin is. Look how small that is. And that's supposed to carry your entire load on that pin and on that piece and this little skinny pin. That's it. That's all that's going to hold your weight on this little piece. That's why if you read the 1-star reviews on this, you will see this piece is breaking and busting off and the load is bending. So another one I want to show you is this mechanism here. I believe this is another one by Arkens. Look at the weld. Look at the steel on that piece. This does not have a drop. This is a straight across, but it is a folding mechanism. But you can see how solid that steel is. But again, you can see the pin is a little skinny here and the pin there is a little skinny there. So when it comes to using this piece here, you're simply pulling the pin, pulling this pin, and folding it into this position and locking it again. That is how the system works. But on this system, there are some little issues that you'll find. One of them is when this comes back down, there's a piece back down in here that sits against the bottom of this bar. It just sits right here, and it sits right here. If I didn't put a little rubber stopper there, you would have a little bit of slop that would go up and down. What I did is I bought these little 1/2 inch by 1 inch clear bumpers, and I put one of these right up underneath there. That will help stiffen the load, so when I push down, I'm able to slide my pin in and hold everything without any bouncing at all. Now you will see many people complain about how bad these things rattle, how much noise they make, and how they sway. And everybody will tell you, even the manufacturer, you need to buy an anti-rattle sway device. This device here is by Rhino USA. This is a nice piece. It's rubberized to help prevent scratching. It's steel. It comes with products that show you how to install it. So follow the instructions so you don't break the bolts. I also recommend putting the nylon threaded bolts on this piece also. Have the nylon threaded bolts on these also, because these do loosen up. It's very important that they don't loosen up. You go, what's this? This, I just stuck it in there, okay? Again, buy lots of zip ties. I ran out of black, so I was using some white. But as you can see, I neatly ran my wiring underneath, separating out, going all the way back into place. And everywhere I could on this, I put nylon bolts, nuts. And I used the thread lock on everything to prevent anything from loosening up. You will also see a difference in these units on these pins. This pin here is much like your cotter pin style, but without the cotter pin. So you could go and get cotter pin ones. I've seen some spring-loaded ones that people have complained about have popped out and caused issues with them popping undone. So I like this. It's a good solid connection. The ones that spring apart and get pushed back in, I worry about those. Those could be an issue. Another thing is if you're going to put the lights, remember anything that blocks your taillights from your vehicle, you need to put lights. This is sticking out about 36 inches from your vehicle. It's very easy for someone to run into the back end of it. Like I said, from Amazon, you could buy this kit. I drilled holes and I bolted it, and I used nylon threaded bolts on it. But if you read the 1-star reviews on these lights, even though they're LED lights and stuff, you will see some people complain about the lights popping out. And yes, I've drive trucks that have taillights that are always popping out. So what I recommend, what we do, is we silicone them in. No big deal, you could push them out. The silicone's really not going to stick that super well. So it gets it in there, it keeps it in there, and it's not going to prevent you from removing it when you need to remove it. But it will keep it from popping out. So silicone them in. Like I said, I drilled them and put them in there, painted everything to match. I put reflectors on it. The center cap right here, this comes off. If you want to put, you know, an 1.5 inch lighted receiver hitch light in here instead of paying the money for the other 2 lights and simply put one here, you can do that. I mean, any lighting you do will help the people behind you, because what you need to be thinking about, where are you going to be driving this? Are you going to be driving this in the snow? Are you going to be driving this at night? Are you going to be driving this through the fog? You know, you never know until you're in that situation. And if I didn't mention this before, remember, this is 70 to 76 pounds of steel. This is capable of a 500-pound cargo. This is not the 400-pound cargo capability one that has the weaker folding joint, that has a 2-piece construction basket and stuff like this. This is a heavy-duty unit. And I want to make sure that people understand that what you're looking at Amazon aren't all the same. When it comes to Amazon products, avoid products that are showing that they do not have a manufacturer. Basically, they're I forget what you call it. They're not name brand products. They are simply Chinese copies of American products or some other country's products that the Chinese people have put together and thrown out there on Amazon because they could get it through customs. They don't meet any standards. So sometimes you don't care, sometimes we do care. But another piece of product I bought is this Moccasins cargo basket bag. This bag is 25 cubic feet. This bag is 24 by 60 by, I believe it is 30 inches tall. And that is the height of my folded wheelchair. That is the height of my luggage put on end, standing up on its wheels. So when I measured my cargo basket and measured my luggage and everything to figure out exactly what I need to put, what size bag should I buy to put everything in, or if I should even buy a bag. You know, it's all up to you. These cargo bags have been notorious for collecting water. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut a hole in the bottom of it to allow water to drain, but I figured at least it'll keep the dirt off it. If it is raining hard, I'll check it, and if it is filling it with water, I will put a hole in the bottom of it. But whether you put a hole in the bottom of it or not is up to you. But at least buy one that'll fit the height that you need, so you're not trying to stuff everything in there and not having something that fits, because you're not just doing this trip, you're doing all your trips. And the more trips you do, you'll find the wife will slowly add more and more stuff to it. So buy what you need that will fit everything, and you can always use tie downs to smash it down, because you don't have to fill up the whole bag. You just have to take what you need, then use the tie downs to hold everything down. And remember, people, don't use bungee cords to hold things down. Please use the proper tie downs for holding your luggage down on the back of the vehicle, because bungee cords stretch, bungee cords bend, the little hooks bend, and things happen. In an accident, things happen over large bumps, especially in Louisiana and California, or in people trying to steal things. It's a lot harder to steal things out of something that's properly strapped down versus a simple bungee cord. So basically, that's what I'd like to show you. This whole thing folds up, folds flat. This pin here, when it all folds down, holds everything together. It's perfectly flat. It all folds down within a 2-inch size. So it's very nice when it all folds up. There is another YouTuber that has a very similar product. They all seem to fold up pretty much the same. It's a great product. A hitch carrier works really well for carrying all the cargo you need, especially when it comes to fuel efficiency. Because if you look at large cars, you'll see it doesn't matter how long the car is, it gets the same fuel mileage as the shorter car. It's all in the mass of the car. So if you put things on the roof, it will cut back on your fuel mileage, where if you add things to the back end, it's not going to affect it as much. And again, pay attention to the actual size of the box and how it's put together, because you're not going to get a big ass box like this if you're only paying $100 for something that looks like this. It's going to be half that size. You're going to be bolting it together and hoping it all stays together and nothing comes loose. The more bolts you have, the more problems that you can potentially have. And we all want to avoid that on the road. So thank you very much for your time and patience. And give me a thumbs up if you found this product useful. Should say video useful. Thank you.